Hey friendlies, it's Carolyn and welcome back to my RV life. It's Wednesday and I don't normally do videos on Wednesdays, but I had to do a video today to share with you some really exciting news. For those of you who haven't already seen it, there was a New York Times article today about the RTR, and yours truly was mentioned in the article a couple of times with a couple pictures, so it's pretty exciting to be in the New York Times, I have to admit. Bob was kind enough to introduce me to the reporter when she was in camp interviewing him, and so she spent an afternoon with me and had a lot of fun talking to her, and I'm really excited about the article that she did, and the fact that I'm in the New York Times, it's just like a little crazy. I always hoped to be in the New York Times. I just always thought it would be as a writer, but this is the next best thing. I'm okay with that. So yeah, I wanted to share that exciting news with you. I'm going to put a link in the description so that you can check out the article for yourself. It's a great article about the event. It's a great article about what Bob is doing for the community, and it's just really exciting, I think, for a lot of us all the way around. And I say a lot of us, not all of us, and that's the other reason I wanted to make the video today. There is some concern. I'm already getting dozens of emails of people who are concerned about all the publicity. So I'm not only getting concerned, but I'm getting downright, some people are hysterical. I'm really getting some hysterics over it. Oh my God, you're ruining it for everybody, and all this publicity is going to ruin it for everybody. And I'm not saying everybody, because some people genuinely are just expressing concern, but some people are downright hysterical, saying that I'm, money-grubbing, insensitive, selfish person for making videos about this and exposing it to the light of law enforcement, and their laws are going to be passed. And I can understand that concern. I really can. And it's even a concern that's on my mind, that as this movement gets more popular, will there be more laws? Will there be more regulations? Will public lands be restricted more and be governed more? And of course, that is a concern. However, I don't feel that by exposing this lifestyle and presenting it to other people, I don't feel that I am doing a disservice to the community. Actually, on the contrary, I make videos because I think I'm helping people. Just like everything that I do, people are going to see what they want to see. They're going to put their blinders on and refuse to see the altruistic nature of a lot of what I do. Do I make a living at it? Sure, but does that mean that it's completely nefarious and selfish reasons? Absolutely not. And I've said that a bunch of times, that I started doing this. It's actually really evolved. I started doing this because I wanted to share my journey in an RV, and it has really evolved into me finding an outlet and a medium for sharing my story, which is something I've always wanted to do. For those of you who've been with me for a while, and you're as I peel away the onions and get more open and honest with you, you're starting to get to know me as a full person, ins and outs, and really literally pulling away the layers of that onion and really seeing what I'm made of and what made me who I am. And that is the story that I have been wanting to share for a very long time, and by making videos, I'm allowed to share that story, or you're allowing me to share that story, and it's helping people. So that is what I wanted to do today. I wanted, for those who think, maybe you're on the borderline, and maybe you're thinking that this is a mistake, that YouTube is hurting this lifestyle, I want to share with you some actual emails and comments that I get. I believe that while there might be some reaction to this lifestyle getting more popular, that might be a little restrictive, that could maybe cause I mean, Bob's been doing it for 20 years. He's had a website for doing it for 20 years, and people have been telling him for 20 years that he's ruining it for everybody, and so far that hasn't happened. So I want to maybe help frame it for some people who think that we are doing a disservice to the community by sharing with you some of the actual emails and comments that I get. So first of all, the first one I'm going to read to you is, and I'm not going to use names because I just decided to put this together like an hour ago. And some people I got permission from, but not everybody. So I'm not going to use names, especially on the more generic ones. On July 17th, so here's an actual email I got months ago. On July 17th, I had a surprise open heart surgery. I'm having a hard time with going through the recovery process, but watching your videos helps brighten my days. Also, you've inspired me and my husband to live full-time in an RV. Our goal is to be out on the road within 2 years. We would love to travel across the country doing craft fairs. So once again, thank you for everything you do. Now, that is just one of the hundreds, maybe thousands of emails that I get from people who saying that my videos inspire them, it encourages them, it gets them thinking about their lives in new ways. I hear from a lot of people who are ill and who can't leave, how much joy they get out of my videos. And honestly, and I've said this before, and especially for those of you who've been with me for a while, and I talked early on about how hard it was it's not easy. People think this is easy. People think that this is glamorous. People think I'm making a bunch of money. I'm not. It's hard work. It is so hard. It's not easy sharing myself the way I do. It's not easy putting my life out for scrutiny of people all the time. This isn't easy, and I'm not complaining. This isn't about complaining, and this video isn't even about me and about tooting my own horn. This video is about showing that I honestly believe I am making a difference at this point, especially after the RTR and meeting so many of you who just literally like stood in line crying, waiting to hug me. I am now starting to realize how much of a difference I am making. My videos, not me, it's my videos, it's my story, it's my travels, and it's just the fact that I happen to have the courage, I don't know, the balls, I don't know, that I happen to be putting my life out for other people to draw inspiration from. I don't want to say, I've always struggled with, there is no meaning and no purpose to what happened to me. I can't ever say, some people say, oh, it was a gift because look where you are. No, I can never say that what happened to me is a gift. I'm sorry, but raping a 9-year-old, that's not a gift, right? So I could never say that that is a gift, and I don't ever want to look at it that way. But if some good can come of it, if something positive can come out of all the hardship, all the struggles, all the adversity, all of the challenges, if something good can come out of that, maybe that's my purpose. And maybe my whole life and all of my experiences and my marketing background and John Muir Trail and leaving the rat race to live in an old RV, maybe my whole life led me here and led me to you. What if? And what if that is my real motive behind everything I do here? I've said before, consulting was a lot easier. People in the business world don't treat people the way some people on YouTube treat people. And social media, just in my world, people didn't speak to each other the way some people online speak to one another. So I'm going to read you another email, and I want to put this up with as little editing as possible. I almost maybe feel like I'm babbling at this point. I hope not, but let's read another email. Carolyn, your story touched me as we have some similarities in how we were raised. I love you. I love your honesty, your vulnerability, and your courage, your willingness to give of yourself and speak your truth. And most of all, your amazing strength as a woman. You continue to inspire me in many ways, and for that, I thank you. #MeToo. Yeah. This is what this is what feeds me. This is the fuel that keeps me going. It's not the money. It's not the fame. As many of you know, I'm struggling with that part of it. But if fame means that more people are reached by my story, I don't know. I think it's worth it. And I just will learn how to deal with it and continue to set healthy boundaries. You want to hear another email? When I first started watching your videos, I was in a bad place and couldn't see a positive way to move forward in my life. I was still adjusting to the chronic pain and condition that I have and wrote it off as simply being lifelong, a lifelong, unremitting matter of fact. But now, instead of worrying about the future and the probability that I'll be homeless due to medical and rental costs, I've gotten my resource together and will be buying a Class C motorhome in the 25-foot range to live in. Your experiences and demonstrations have given me hope and optimism for seeing all parts of the U.S. I have never gotten to, and reveling in the natural world I've been missing so badly. Thank you, Carolyn, for your positive impact, and my best to you always. I want to ask the people who are freaking out over the publicity, does that sound like we're hurting people? What if someone who is going to be forced out here and who doesn't have any other opportunity didn't know they had alternatives? They didn't know that you could buy a trailer for $1,000 or $500, or that you could live in a car. YouTube is just a new, broader medium for reaching more people, and that's how I view it. And I'm actually kind of on a renewed vigor, I guess, to write my book. I don't think that YouTube is the end all be all for me. I still want to write my book, and I was actually inspired and encouraged by the New York Times, Penelope, by the reporter. She actually wrote to me and said, you really need to write that book. And wow, if the New York Times reporter is telling me I need to write the book, maybe I really need to write the book. I don't know. Again, altruism comes in many forms. And to quote someone on Facebook that I've been going back and forth with all afternoon, and I don't usually like to speak to the negative people, he thinks that the only way you can help people is by getting your fingernails dirty, by helping out at the food kitchen, by doing work that people don't see. That was his comment to me. And I don't agree. We all help people in different ways. I've definitely done my time on the front lines, literally suicide hotlines, helping. Many of you know I've been mentoring a girl for 10, 12 years through the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. But again, this isn't about me, but I just want to say that I do believe that we help people how we can help them. We all have different gifts, and many of you have told me I've got a gift. And I'm starting to see that. I have a gift for storytelling. I have a gift for connecting, which I never thought. I used to think people don't really like me. I used to say that. People don't really like me. I take a while. I'm an acquired taste, and you guys are kind of proving that theory very wrong. And you're proving that I actually can connect with people. And many of you have said I have a gift. And I believe in using our gifts to help people. My gift happens to be by sharing my story, sharing my life, and connecting with people here, by speaking and by writing. So I don't agree that we have to get our fingernails dirty, although mine are dirty. Does that count? In order to make a difference in people's lives. We all do it with the tools that we have, with the life that we are given. My life gave me a story, and that's how I choose to make a difference, by sharing that and my journey. You want to hear one more? Yeah, you inspire so many people. I love that you honor those who honor you by subscribing. All of your sharings have affirmed change in myself and others. So again, I may not be feeding someone actual food, but maybe I'm feeding their self-confidence, their motivation. Maybe I'm feeding their soul. What I try to do is mirror what I believe is already in a lot of people. And maybe they just need to see me in order to recognize that they have it within themselves. I want to share a strength. I want to share, a journey that if I can do it, they can do it too. All right, one more. This is a long one. But this is the one that really addresses the hysteria. This is the one that is really going to say, no, I'm not hurting the community. I am not hurting the people who have to be out here by talking about my life out here. So this is just a really great representative email of the good that we all of us, our community, are doing by helping others, by sharing our experience and helping others. Hello, Carolyn. While watching your 1 year on the road video, your comment about dealing with attention, especially negative attention, resonated with me. My wife and I have lived a houseless lifestyle for a year and a half. Even without an online presence, we have seen much criticism for going off the beaten path. Whether you intended it or not, I believe you represented well what many others experience. Thank you. To be fair, here is a short version of our story. We became homeless in the summer of 2016 while living in Washington. After living in our cars, we met others who became houseless, not because of mental illness or drugs or an illegal lifestyle, but because of circumstance. We were blessed with an RV and lived as regional nomads, staying in the same area and working, but with a focus on journeying beside helping and providing community and encouragement to houseless people. As of last summer, we sold our RV and relocated to the big island of Hawaii. We came with nothing and have continued doing the same thing here to help and build community for those marginalized people. I wish everyone did this lifestyle for fun, but that is not the reality, as you well know by now. As I said earlier, thank you for speaking out for those of us not brave enough to put ourselves online as you have. Stay safe in your travels. So here is someone who is representing the community out here who is forced out here. They're not out here by choice like I am or like many of us, but they are forced out here, and they are thanking me for bringing to light and maybe helping to encourage others and maybe to help view people in a different light. I don't think, I guess that's the difference. Some of us believe that it's best to sweep things under the rug, that we shouldn't talk about things, right? Me too, right? How many of us have seen now the shaming and the blaming about the Me Too movement, that we should just be quiet about it, like we've been told all our lives? Well, a lot of people, if they had their way, would prefer that we don't talk about tough things, that we don't bring to light the challenges that many of us face. And then, like as Bob says, and then maybe there are the people who just want this all for themselves and they're afraid that too much publicity is going to ruin it for them. Well, what about the other people who may need to hear it? What about the people who need a voice and can't, for whatever reason, have a voice? I'm hearing over and over that is kind of what I have been doing. I'm giving other people either a voice that they don't or can't have, or I'm giving them the courage to have a voice for themselves. So I just wanted to say, don't be afraid. Please, I mean, I don't want to tell you how to feel, but I hope that I can maybe alleviate some of the fear that this is all going to go away, that by the time you can get out here, it's going to be gone. I wanted to alleviate some of the fear that we are doing a disservice to the community. I wanted to alleviate some of the rumors and some of the lies, frankly, that by me being out here by choice, I am somehow taking away from the experience of the people who have to be out here. I wanted to take away the lie that by me being on YouTube and sharing my experience and also happen to be making a living out of it, that I am somehow being selfish and somehow ruining it for people. On the contrary, this man here, who is here because he had to be, is thanking me for giving him and his community a voice. So thank you to the New York Times. Thank you to Penelope. It was an awesome interview. I think many of you who were here can attest to the fact that it was an excellent event, even despite its size and its exploding growth. I mean, how can you deny that there's something going on when we're seeing this event explode year over year? There is something going on. And to hold that like this and say, I'm not going to share it, to me is the ultimate in selfishness. I'm using the medium that I have to share my journey, to show others and inspire others that they have choices, that they don't have to live the way we're taught we have to live, that there are choices. This may not be it. It may be something else, but this is an option. And I could be selfish and keep this to myself, or I can share it, even if that means losing it. So that's my little talk today, because, I have to talk about things. That's just who I am. I talk about things. We talk about things. And for those who are confused or concerned, I hope that helped a little bit. I hope that cleared things up. For those of you who already saw it, I hope that just reading, hearing the emails and hearing my talk today just kind of helped maybe reaffirm something in you. What do you think? What do you think about that? Let me put it out to you. What do you think about YouTube? What do you think about all of us who are on YouTube and writing and blogging about this lifestyle? Do you think it's dangerous? Do you think it's going to harm us in the end? Or do you think that it's a good thing and that it's going to help more people? I tend to be an optimist, and I tend to not worry about things whose outcome I don't know yet. If public lands get taken away in a decade, I'll worry about it then. But I'm not going to spend now worrying about it. Now what I want to do is help and inspire people in the moment now. It's not an all or nothing thing. The world, this whole Chicken Little, oh my God, the sky is falling, oh my God, you guys are horrible, rotten people. There's no shortage of people who are going to criticize what you do, especially when you have the courage to, as I think it was a Roosevelt quote, right? To the people who are in the ring. It's easy to criticize from outside the ring, the people who are actually inside the ring doing the work. Comes with the territory, and I'm starting to embrace it. Thank you all so much. Love you, love you, love you. Loved the event, loved the RTR, loved meeting people, love knowing that my little story can somehow make an impact in your life. Thank you for allowing me to do this, because if it wasn't for you watching, I wouldn't be here doing this. So thank you for allowing me. Thank you for inviting me into your lives. And of course, as always, thank you for being a part of my journey. You rock. I love you. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. Mwah! Big bear hugs. Mwah. You have to see Cocoon right before we sign off.
Say hi.